Alright folks, this is my before video. About 4 years ago I treated myself for some actinic keratosis with this product called Picato. And whoa, weird things going on there. At any rate, this product called Picato, and I need to do it again. So before I apply it, I'm going to apply it here in a couple hours. I'm going to go take my shower, and then when I'm done, wait about an hour and then apply some of this stuff. I've got some actinic keratosis on my nose, and then some over here on the side of my temple here. So we're going to do this video trip again where show you what happens after I apply it. So now the rules for this are you can't apply it directly after a shower, and you can't apply it within 2 hours of going to bed. I assume they want you up and awake so that you're not unconsciously sticking your hands in it, maybe sticking it in your eye, sticking your hands in your eyes, because you don't want to get it near your eyes or your lips or any membrane surfaces like that. So so that's the rules. So we're going to take a shower, wait about an hour, and then apply this stuff, and then we'll show you what happens to my skin over the course of the next couple days. If it's anything like last time, it's going to get ugly. Uglier than I already am. Alright, so this stuff comes in this container. These three little tubes are about the size and shape of a super glue tube. And we got some instructions here on the inside of the box. And each tube has an expiration date on the end of it. It's currently December 2019, and this doesn't expire until February 2021. So it looks like it should be good for about a year and a half or so after you get it. You have to keep it refrigerated. And we're just going to squeeze a little bit out. They have a lot of air in these things. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's filled with nitrogen or something, but at any rate, it finally comes out. It kind of looks like super glue gel. And I've got some spots here on the ridge of my nose and then over here on my temple. So we're just going to kind of put a little bit of this on those. And then same thing over here on the spot I have on the temple. And then we'll show you what this looks like over the course of the next few days. They don't give you a whole lot of this stuff. They say it's enough to treat about a 2x2 area. And like I said, I've got this patch over here on this temple that has some actinic keratosis. And then the ridge area right here around my nose. The bridge of my nose and the end of my nose. So we'll get that loaded up with this stuff. Now, they don't make you wear gloves, but they do tell you to wash your hands thoroughly as soon as you get done using it. So we got this stuff on. Wash your hands and we'll be done. Alright, it's been about 9 hours, and you're not supposed to wash this stuff out off your face until after it's been on 6 hours. So I'm way well past that. So I'm going to go ahead and wash it off so that way I don't have to worry about sticking my hand in it and maybe sticking it in my eye or something like that. So just my normal get up in the morning and wash my face thing. Alright, so wash the soap off my face. You can obviously see there's some reddening there of the nose and the temple over here where I applied that stuff. So this is again 9 hours after application. So it's already it feels kind of sunburned. I can definitely feel the areas where I applied it. Like I said, just feels like a sunburn. Alright, so it's been 12 hours since I applied the Picato, and you can see that got some redness going on, and over here it's a little red. The nose skin's not looking the greatest. So I've got this dark spot here. It's kind of like a little bruise, and I'm getting some I don't know, I don't want to call it crusting, but skin's almost starting to like peel a little bit. It's kind of hard to describe. At any rate, this is 12 hours after application. You see, I squeeze it, I get some getting some fluid to come out there. So it's starting to do its thing. I'm getting ready to get my shower, and then I'll apply the second dose in an hour after that. Anyway, you can see I've got some, or maybe you can see, I've got some crusting going on here, and it's been doing that throughout the day, and I kind of end up brushing it off here and there, but that's kind of what's going on in the nose. On the side over here, there's not too much going on, really, not that I can see. At any rate, I'm going to jump in the shower, rinse this off, and we'll give you another video when we reapply it in about an hour. Alright, so I just got out of the shower, and it's been 23 hours, and I'll wait till I get nice and dry from the shower, and then reapply that second application. But you can see the condition of the nose, especially on this side over here, and the side of the face. For some reason, this is holding up much better than my nose is. Maybe it's because my nose is, I've got a very greasy skin on my nose, lots of pimples every day, even though I'm well past my teenage years. At any rate, it is what it is. Alright, so it is 24 hours past the first application. Time to put on the second tube here. Again, these things have just a ton of air in them. I don't know why. Ah, that stings. It stings a lot like putting super glue on an open cut. Ugh. Fortunately, I remember from last time, it only lasts a few seconds. So it's starting to subside already, but boy, that burned. Alright, we gotta do this side over here. Oh, and I do have a couple spots that are starting to crust, and I certainly feel them when I get this Picato on them, because again, it stings pretty good. Alright, so there we go. We'll give you some more video updates as they happen. Alright, so it has been 12 hours after the second application, so 36 hours after the first application of this Picato. So you can see the nose is really crusty, and it looks like somebody's hit me up alongside the head with a bat. As far as the red puffiness, maybe not so much puffy, but certainly red, redness over there on the side of the temple where I've been applying it. Lots of crusting on the nose. You can see that I've got some pimply spots that are trying to break through that I probably need to push on. I wear a CPAP, as you can probably tell by some of the lines on my face, and that wasn't too much of a problem. There's a little bit of discomfort where the CPAP band crossed across this area here, but again, it just feels like a bad sunburn, and that kind of dissipates over time. Last night, an hour after my second application, it was a throbbing sunburn type feeling, but that gets better. At any rate, I'm going to try to wash some of this crusting off, just because it's annoying, and I don't want to get some of that crusting in my eyeball or something. So that's where we're at. Alright, so you can see we got some patches of skin that are basically just coming off. And the nose is much worse than the side temple area over here. Again, probably I think because my nose is just normally such a greasy mess that there's always stuff percolating up and down through the skin. Alright, so I just got done washing my face, and when I say washing it, I mean just basically splashing some water on it and rubbing it lightly where the skin was not trying to peel off like it is over here. So I was able to wash my temple area there and some parts of my nose, but where it's really crusty and getting raw, I didn't try to wash that with any mechanical sort of motion with my hand trying to scrape any of that stuff off. So pretty much just splashed water on it and got most of the medication off. Again, I just don't want to keep sticking my fingers in it or something because it's itchy, and then accidentally get it in my eyes, because they tell you don't do that. So they got me plenty scared to make sure I don't get any of this in my eye, even though this is 12 hours after the last application and supposedly you can wash it off after 6, just because my bedtime schedule it's 12. So you might want to consider doing this during the day where you could wash it off right after 6 hours. But again, because my schedule just worked out to be more convenient to do it before bedtime. Alright, so it has been 23 hours since my second application, 47 hours since the first application, and you can see, or maybe you can't see, I don't know if you can tell, but basically it feels like somebody super glued a leaf to my nose. It's all rough and scaly and crusted over. My side of my temple over here has some roughness to it, but it certainly is not, you know, crusty like my nose is. But at any rate, getting ready to go take my shower, and my glasses are not the most comfortable thing in the world to wear, but at any rate, and I think you can see where that's probably been aggravated. My glasses have aggravated some of this injury to my nose. So off to the shower, and we'll take another video when I get out of that. Alright, so we just got out of the shower, and I tried to rinse most of that crustiness off, but it didn't want to come off. You can see the temple there is pretty red and inflamed, but it's holding up pretty good. The nose is just a bunch of open type skin, pretty ulcerated. It's still got quite a bit of crusting on it. It feels like the top of a cracker, but I just wasn't going to mechanically try to scrub all that off. I let the water run over it for quite a while and rubbed it lightly with my fingers to try to get most of it off. And I think the majority of the real hard crusty stuff came off, but there's still a lot of crustiness on there. At any rate, shortly we'll do the third application, and then we'll be done with our treatment, and this is a matter of letting the rest of the skin fall off and die, and putting up with red blotchy skin. Alright, so it's time to apply my last dose of this stuff. It's been 48 hours since the first dose. So the first dose was at 0 hours. Second dose was at 24. Third dose will be at 48 hours. And then we're done with the doses. Now yesterday this really stung a lot because most of the skin was raw. I don't know how much this is going to sting because there's still quite a bit of crusting going on there. So that may actually kind of protect it. I can't really scrape that stuff off though, because it's just, you can kind of see maybe when I move it how it's just kind of crunchy, crusty skin, but it's not It's just like the skin is raw, but it's dried and it's got a film over it, is more what it's like. I guess I keep saying it's crusty, but it's more like a dry film is what it is right now. So at any rate, it might still hurt. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and apply this stuff. And you gotta squeeze the heck out of it. Tons of air. All right. Oh yeah, that burns. That burns a lot. Oh, burns over there too. Really, really bad. Fortunately, it only lasts for a second or two. But that's hot. Burns. All right. You gotta hold your breath when you do this, because like it stings. And my guess is it's gonna sting for the next hour or two. Alright, so I think that's it. We'll follow this up until it stops getting worse. Alright, so it's been about an hour since I put on the third application, and man, I tell you, it feels like somebody rubbed a habanero all over my nose and my temple, and it looks like it's pretty red to me, but I want to go ahead and capture it on camera. Like I said, it looks like it was redder than it was before. Certainly is, it's hot. Bad sunburn. Alright, so it has been 60 hours since I did my first application. 12 hours since the third application. And my nose pretty much feels like a pork rind. It's all bumpy and crusty and hard. Most of the burning has gone away from the application and the sunburn feeling, but it's still there, and obviously if I move it or crinkle my nose, that's kind of painful, but it's pretty much just a giant crusty, weepy sort of thing on the middle of my face. Over here on the side, that's real tender. Again, feels like I've been whacked up alongside the head, but the crusting and stuff is not as severe as it is on my nose. Alright, so it has been 71 hours. For those of you that are math challenged, that's 3 days, or an hour short of 3 days. Anyway, you can see the nose here is it feels like the top of a cracker or something. It's got a film or a crusting on it that's like I said, just feels like the top of a cracker. It's dry, and then the temple over here kind of feels the same way. It's red, has some spots that look like it's dead, just same as my nose. And we'll be taking our shower here shortly, and we'll show you what that looks like too. Alright, so we just got out of the shower. This is 72 hours after the first application, roughly 72 hours. Kind of between the first and the second treatment, I got a lot of crusting. In other words, liquid was oozing from the skin, and that kind of dried up and got crusty, and I was able to rinse that off in my shower between the first and the second treatment. Between the second and the third treatment, it developed more of a film, and that didn't want to rinse off, and I didn't want to rinse it off. Kind of a protective film over the raw tissue, which kept it from leaking as much, and I'm sure protected it. At any rate, it is what it is. It's not too bad. Alright folks, it's roughly 86 hours since the first application of Picato. Again, my nose feels like a corn tortilla chip. It's kind of rough and hard, and there's a film that is protecting the raw skin underneath that film. You can see I got quite a bit of redness and some. Again, this feels like a tortilla chip or a cracker. It's just rough and bumpy and scaly. Feels like a lizard maybe. Obviously it's red, and that's what you can expect. Alright, so it has been 95 hours since my first application of the Picato, and you can see the nose is pretty rough looking, I would have to say, and the side of the temple over here where I treated is also pretty rough looking. Still feels like a pork rind. Sorry about all the zoom in there. Still feels like a pork rind. It's just a hard kind of film casing on top of the nose where that tissue is trying to heal over. And getting ready to go take my shower. I'll do at least one more video of that. Now, like I said, this will be 95 hours. Obviously, if you're a TV personality and try to do this starting a Friday afternoon, you're not going to be in shape to go on camera by Monday. That's for sure. Of course, I'm never in shape to go on camera, but that's beside the point. Alright, so it has been approximately 96 hours. I just got out of the shower, and you can see some of that stuff is coming off. It's still pretty unattractive. But and we got to go to work tomorrow morning. So again, if you got a job where you got to be on camera, this would not be the thing to do on a 3-day weekend. But it is what it is. It looks like some of this crusting stuff is starting to get some cracks in it here and there, starting to break up a little bit. At any rate, I'm off to work. I think this is going to act like a bad sunburn that's going to peel and flake off eventually, but we're off to start our day. Alright, so it is it is 6 p.m. I'll have to figure out how many hours that is later and flash it up here for you. But at any rate, I've been at work all day, and I've noticed that this is starting to crack and flake off over here on the side. I think is still pretty intact. I don't know, I can't quite see it without my glasses. But if I zoom in here on the nose, you can see that this is getting kind of broke up. There's starting to be places where that film that developed and that crusting is breaking up over the top. So it's starting to crumble off. I expect over the next day or two that will disappear. And I'll be left with new, fresh, raw kind of skin underneath of it. Alright, so we're getting ready to go get in the shower here. You can see that some of the stuff is catching on my glasses over here. It's flaking up, wanting to come off, so hopefully a lot of this will come off when I get in the shower, because it certainly is loose and wanting to come loose. So. Alright, so we are at, I think, the 144 hour mark. I may have to check my math and post a correction if so, but we just got done with the shower, and you can see the nose. They've still got a little bit of that scaling protective skin on there, but a lot of it's gone. Over here, this still feels like a dried cracker or a lizard skin. But the nose, at least some of that dark, filmy, crusty tissue is gone, but we still got some left on there, and we'll get that off probably, I'm thinking, tomorrow. To the left, we do have some grease or whatever that's coming up underneath this stuff that hasn't been squeezed for a while, so we'll have to get a bunch of that out of there too, because obviously I've not been doing anything like that with my nose all raw. Alright, getting ready to go to work here at what I think might be hour number 156. That sounds right. See some of that stuff came off overnight, and I expect the rest of this stuff will probably fall off today. And then of course we got this area over here that is still left to really start peeling or flaking off. But most of the nose stuff is gone. So, looking better. As better can be. Alright, I think I may be at like hour 167. I really should have kept notes. Kept better track of my time. Anyway, at work all day today. Looked much better. The nose is pretty much normal. The temple over here is still kind of dry and scaly, but that's starting to flake off. The only thing is it also starts to get kind of itchy, and I sometimes forget and go to scratch my temple there and realize it's a little too raw to be scratching full force with my fingernails. But that's what that looks like. I think this may be my last video update. Like I said, the nose is pretty much back to normal, and this will get there within the next day or so. So hopefully that gave you an idea of what to expect. So hopefully that gave you an idea what to expect if you're going to use this product, especially if you're concerned with how you look. Don't start off ugly like me, but yeah, you know. Alright, so here's a little epilogue. So I got this redness over here still, and it's been 3 weeks since, over 3 weeks since I've stopped doing this stuff. And the problem is, and it didn't dawn on me, I consider myself to be a fairly intelligent guy, but I spaced it on this one. I wear CPAP, and it has a cloth thing, and so that cloth got some of this Picato. Man, I'm having a hard time figuring out how to aim this stupid camera, aren't I? So the cloth obviously would have been in contact with the Picato at night, and at any rate, I forgot to take that cloth off and wash it. The cloth guard, it's just a cover for the strap. So if you wear a CPAP and you use this Picato and the strap comes in contact with the Picato, you might want to take it off and wash it after you're done applying this stuff, so you don't end up with a permanent patch of area there that you're treating. So hopefully now that I've washed it, this will go away. We'll see. Otherwise, you know, I'll just be scarred for life as an idiot.